Hello, everyone, and welcome to Limitless Gaming Esports coverage of Limitless Formula Racing, the Tuesday Limitless 2 edition. I am Kem, and I would like to welcome you here to our broadcast as the race today will be taking place at Belgium. If you have not subscribed to our channel as yet, please do, as that would help us out a lot. And if you did not check out the Monday Limitless 1 race yesterday, check it out. It was quite an intense race around the Hungaro Ring. At this time, I would like to introduce my co-commentator. As usual for Tuesdays, that would be Big Weir. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, Cam. I'm good. We're here in Belgium. And I was going to say, normally high risk of rain, and I've looked at the clouds already. I don't want it this week, man. I'm not ready after Imola. It was a struggle for a lot of people. That's how I put it. But yeah, so we're here at Belgium anyway. Like I said, we've only 14 drivers today. A couple of people had connection issues. Some people had other commitments. We've no Alfa Romeos in the grid today, so I don't know who I'm rooting for. But yeah, so we'll just see how it goes, I guess. But we got the big hitters though. We got Brandon. We got Dark Stomper. We've got BKS in the Ferrari with King's Home. Another one of those top drivers. A couple of new ones too, though. King Benny, new in anyone who watched Thursday a couple of weeks ago. Nice Guy Benny. Was it last week? Was it Imola last week? Nice Guy Benny, was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, was Nice Guy Benny.
Yep, he was on the quali lap of his life, and then
I'm not ready to talk about it. I'm not ready to talk about it just yet.
Yep. So currently leading the pack of cars on outlaps is Zayek of the Haas team. And behind him, we'll see. So behind him would be Kadoy, which this is his second race of the season.
Yeah, he was in Imola last week. He was I think he was the last of the finishers. I think he was one of the ones that took the gamble on the wets, maybe? I can't honestly remember. There was a couple who took the gamble for the wets mid-race last week. They were faster for a couple of laps, but the track quickly dried out again, so they lost out on a lot of time there. But he's back again for his second race, hoping to keep up the point streak at least. He's joined late, so he's got some catching up to do if he wants to work his way back up the order a little bit. But yellows in sector 3, Cam. I haven't got the track map up. Is it just someone slowing down?
Yeah, I think it was Dark Stomper, actually.
Sweaty boy, we were in practice beforehand, and Brandon got a little bit. Oh, actually, there's a proper yellow flag. There's a Red Bull.
Yeah,
right.
It's a Red Bull.
Brandon, another difficult spot now. If he doesn't be very careful rejoining, which he's managed. Ram Van Doom, I think, is qualifying ban this week, if I'm right.
Yeah.
So he'll be retiring in the pits after this lap too. But yeah, so a couple of reserves in. Monster Blue, we've seen him a couple of times this season. You know he's quite quick. Just looking at Cali Rob, was sort of a full-time reserve in Monday for a while. He's stepping into the Mercedes car today. Try and get them some points at least. I think that's it for reserves, as far as I can tell.
Yeah. So I was just riding on board with Zayek of the Haas team, and he invalidated his lap. So behind him is Dark Stomper, who was... he was first in the practice session for fastest time set. He was about 0.3 faster than Lewis F1, who was second in the practice session. So you see Zayek just letting Dark Stomper go through as he's just in the midst of sector 3. So coming to the bus stop, chicane is Dark Stomper. Taken quite nicely, foot down. already in the 142s.
Yep, that was pretty much that was his first lap in practice that we pretty much lost our minds at. So it's only going to get faster here. I think he's another 4 or 5 tenths in the pocket there. So solid lap to start off with. Lewis coming up to the line, but I think he's invalidated. So yeah, so his isn't going to count. Or was that his out lap? I'm not even sure because I haven't got anything up. That was his out lap, I think. But yeah, so Belgium, quite a long track, a lot of time to be made on lost throughout the track. Some of the curves are very friendly and very inviting, and the other curves will just decide to chew you up and spit you out like you're nothing. Yeah. So I'm expecting a couple of incidents today, with a couple of people getting caught out up Eau Rouge. But yeah, I'm sort of like I said, we've seen King Benny's pace last week. I'm excited to see what he's got here at Belgium today.
So I was just on board with BKS. He has set a 1:43.544 for his first qualifying time. Milan Massimo behind him with a 1:44.481 to go into third. So a lot of invalidations. Phoenix has not really put a representative time on the board, but has put up a time. So we will see. Dark Stomper seems to be on an in-lap. Monster Blue.
Another Red Bull round there in Sector 2, I think it's Kingshome's lost it.
Yeah.
It's one of those cars I was talking about. Oh, he needs to watch himself. There's an AlphaTauri coming. He gets out of the way though. One of those curves that invites you to take it and then just chews you up and spits you out like you're nothing. So, both Red Bulls have been caught out already.
Yeah, so Flea is currently on an outlap. There's a Mercedes that is going quite quickly. That's King Benny. So we'll ride on board with him and see what kind of time the Mercedes driver can put on the board. Let's do that section relatively well, foot down. And it's a 1:43.215 for King Benny, up to second.
It's not bad. Nice day, Benny. Putting in a pretty tasty little lap time in his first lap anyway, so to cement him probably firmly into the top 10. A lot of people invalidating though as I scroll down the names. A lot of people invalidating on their first lap, so like I said, it's a long track, so it's hard to get 3 runs in around here because it takes so long to do an out lap and an in lap. Kodoy just was on board and there's run really deep.
Wow.
really, really deep. I think he pulled off there. He wants to get the bus. The only thing I can assume has happened there. But he's been caught out in that. But I think he's got the lap. So 1:53. Phoenix has done better there as well. Just seeing he got himself into the 1:45s. Much more representative lap time from him.
Mm-hmm. So I'm currently on board with Monster Blue, purple Sector 2 on medium tires.
Well, I hope that's not the glitch, because this could be very exciting if that's accurate. We know he's got a lot of pace. Yep. He's reserved a couple of times throughout the season, so I hope this is accurate. He's took that curve very neat. We'll see what he's like into the bus stop. Cuts the apex nicely. Gets a decent effort.
It looked like he was struggling, and backed out in the end. Sets a 1:44.595 to put himself in 5th. I'm wondering, imagine if he gets a start in the top 10 with that time.
Yeah, I'm just you can see he backed out at the end there, so I reckon there's probably 5 tenths at least in that lap time there. So I don't know what his thinking was there, but he definitely backed out. Whether he's going to maybe save it and go for another lap. But Flea though, 1:44.3.
Yep.
Puts himself up in the P4. Like I say, there's quite a big gap at the minute between P3 and 4. I'm expecting Lewis to slot himself in there somewhere. Cali Rob as well. Maybe Kingsholm up near the top 2. Cali Rob's on his lap at the minute, so we'll see what he can do.
So I'm currently on board with Kodoy, just coming through the bus stop chicane. Let's see as it's foot down. This should be a relatively good time. 1:44.558 for Kodoy puts him up into 6th.
Decent lap time, a lot better than the first one. Zayek, though, decides that he wants a bit of the action, puts himself into P3, just ahead of BKS there. That's a pretty decent time for him, to be fair. He's put himself right into the mix of those top runners at the moment. But that Merker Rob's still on the way, and we know he's fast. There's a couple other drivers I think could slot themselves roughly in and around that time too. I think Brandon could have some competition with it, you know.
Yep.
Just looking at some of the reserves, I know a lot of them are quite fast. Like I say, Kelly was a full-time reserve on Monday, so I'm expecting big things. Monster Blue's retired. I'm not sure if that was in the pit lane. I think it was. Oh, he's crashed into the pit lane, Cam.
Oh, really?
Where's the AlphaTauri? Gennady. I'm going to ride on board with him. Let's see. Yeah, he's crashed into the pit lane on entry.
Wow. Oh, and Cali Rob is into the pits. He backed out of that lap.
This thing goes. I'm just even looking at the sector times now. That looked like it was probably a very tasty lap. He's maybe thinking, wait for the track to ramp up a little bit. Make sure you get a good lap in right at the end of the session.
Yep, or maybe even throw on the mediums at the end, maybe.
Cheeky little medium run. You could say, I'm thinking strategy around here is probably going to be a medium soft.
And there we have it.
Or soft medium. Oh, there he is. He's starting to flex those times we've seen in practice. Of course he is. It's not even a shock at this point anymore. Whenever he puts in a lap of the god, he's just he puts the work in and he gets the results big time. But yeah, no, I'm expecting a soft medium strategy around here. Of course, that's perfect conditions to list, though.
Very good lap.
Yeah, pretty representative of what we've seen in practice from him too. So he's firing himself right into the mix up there. BKS though, I can't help but feel he's a little bit off the pace. He's pushing it right to the limit there, just as he enters sector 3. That curve is one of those curves we talk about that will chew you up and spit you out. So expect an incident down there at some point today. But he's coming into the bus stop chicane now. We'll see what sort of a time we're talking here. Ooh, a little squirmy in the exit there. To 1. I don't think he improved, did he? No, roughly the same time.
Yeah. So BKS stays in 5th after going just 800 slower than his fastest time. We'll see who is on the lap. King's Home is currently on a lap. And I just saw that Lyra Patch entered the session.
Okay, I'm wondering what car he'd be put into, but it's an extra driver, I suppose. They'll not be able to qualify, but put us up to 15 drivers, which is a nice little number. Yep. I think he was one of the ones having connection issues, so hopefully it holds up.
Ooh, King's Home up into 2nd with a 142.880.
It's starting to get a bit closer at the top now. That gap, the P3 is rightly abolished at this point. You're saying I think there's still more to come with some of these drivers.
So let's see. Lewis, yep, on an in lap. Lee has invalidated. BKS has invalidated. So Kadoi's on an out lap. Phoenix just went past him, so yep, we'll ride on board with Phoenix and see if he can improve on that 145.257 that he has set so far. That's quite brave going on to that.
Yeah, curve of death. Last week we had the corner of death. This week we've got the curve of death. Phoenix, is he backing out there? He's in a bit of a high gear.
Yeah.
I think this is maybe an in-lap. Hasn't used much of his battery, so I'm assuming he's on an in-lap, but
yeah.
Maybe want to try and get out right at the end of the session, so I'm expecting the pit lane to get a little bit busy in the next couple of minutes. A lot of people want to go right at the end of the session, get the maximum out of that track evolution.
So I'm currently riding on board with Flea, who is 2/10 slower than the best time that he has set, but I'll stay on board with him as he is the only one closest to the start finish, who is on a flying lap. And has invalidated, unfortunately.
It's that quiet time qualifying, Crown, isn't it? It's that quiet time. The calm before the storm, as we talk about. Kodo, I think he's the only one on an actual lap at the minute, from what I can tell. His flea's invalidated. He fully sent it up a ruse there. Quite a scary corner to take flat out, but you can gain so much time if you've got the balls to do it, like I say. But really confident over those curves. He's taken a lot of curve through the end of, or start of sector 2. Really showing no fear with the curves. He's got a lot more balls than I do, I'll say that.
Yep, so let's see how he takes. Oh, he's relatively close to the left-hand curb of death.
Trademark.
Even taking that curb, didn't get an invalidation, so luckily for him, can still continue this hot lap. 4/10 quicker so far.
Put him down. I should put him around P7 at the minute. Unless he makes any mistakes. Like I said, we've seen earlier he braked way too late into the second to last corner. But a decent improvement on his first lap.
Yep, so let's see as it's pedaled down for Kadoy, jumps to, yep, you're correct, 7th with a 144.029. Let's see a McLaren. No, that's an outlap for Lewis. Giannotti's on an outlap. We have a minute and 38 seconds left in this qualifying session, so is anyone on a proper flying lap? No, I think it's all outlap's right now.
Tell you what, I've just noticed actually. Cali Rob hasn't left the pit lane and he hasn't put a lap in yet, so I'm wondering if there's some cheeky strategy element going on here with Cali. We've seen him pit earlier, but he's left it way too late to come out of the pit, so I'm not sure if that was a mistake or not, but he's happy starting P14, does it look.
Yep, going for the alt strat. Let's see. I believe it's Dark Stomper who is the lead flying lapper right now, so I'll ride on board with him, and he runs wide.
Talk about the jinx. But I say I'm on board with Lewis at the minute. He's not flying lap. He hasn't made much of an improvement. I think he's roughly the same. His sector one's roughly the same as it was before. But see if he can make up any time for the second sector. It was very neat, to be fair to him, so we'll see what he's got in the tank. He's only 1/10, not even a 10th off Kingsholm, and he's 2/10 up on his time.
Yep. So this may be second place for Lewis F1, barring any errors. So we'll ride on board with him to see how he finishes out this flying lap, as the qualifying session is now over. Took those two turns quite well.
Yeah, and Kingsholm's made a mistake. He didn't make the start-finish line. He misjudged the time to get to the start-finish. He's not even going to get a chance to improve. But Lewis jumps up to P2, which is a nice run. King Benny, nice guy Benny, he's the other one on the lap, and he's 2/10 up. Still looking like he's going to have to try and find a little more time to try and pit Kingsholm. He needs 4/10 in these last two sectors.
I'm actually on board with BKS coming up to the line. I think it's going to be an improvement for him. Yep, jumps to 4th with a 143.165. You said King... Ooh, and King Benny invalidated.
Oh, and he's round!
Yep.
Fortunately, he was up, but I don't know if it was going to be enough to pit P3. Probably could have took BKS, to be fair, but...
Riding on board with Phoenix, going a second faster than his fastest time, so he may jump to...
She jumped up P8, I think?
8, yeah. So let's see what...
tires.
Let's see what Phoenix can do. Yeah, I heard the screeching.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was going to get the car slowed down. Gets a little bit squirmy at that last corner, but jumps up. P8 it is.
Yep.
Ooh, that's
Well,
tight between those two. That's tight between those two. Kodor and Phoenix. Very, very, very tight. I think if Phoenix had got a better exit, he might have even got P7 there.
Yep, so this is going to be the starting grid for the race. Dark Stomper in first, Lewis F1 in second, and King's Home in third place. So let's see. I'm just wondering, Lyra Patch didn't go into a car.
I'm wondering will it show up though. I didn't see him leave, so I'm hoping his connection's holding up at least, but we'll find out very shortly.
Alright, so I'll just go through the starting order for the race. It's Dark Stomper in first, Lewis F1 in second, King's Home in third, BKS in fourth, King Benny in fifth, Zayak in sixth, Kodoy in seventh, Phoenix in eighth, Flea 1996 in ninth, Milan Massimo in 10th, Gennady will be starting in 11th, Monster Blue in 12th, Ryan Van Doom will be starting in 13th, did not set a time because he has a quali ban for today's race, and then Cali Rob did not even go on track. Did he go on track at all?
I remember him going on a lap, and the lap was looking pretty good. Like I said, by the time he was going into the pit lane, it was sitting sort of top 5 time really. So I'm not sure if he just wants to try a little bit of an alternative strategy around here. But him and Monster Blue, I'd expect them both to start in the mediums, and try and get that pace advantage right at the end of the race. So let's see if this pays off really.
Mm-hmm. So as we're just about to enter the race, let us see. And it is rain. It is rain.
Now, I wonder did anyone notice that, because those lap times were very representative of a dry setup. So, okay, I'm not ready for this, man. I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do it again, man. I don't know if I can deal with this. I didn't even get a weather update. So this is a very unwelcome surprise.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go to the YouTube comments. I haven't looked at them yet, too. Drown my sorrows in the YouTube comments. Let's have a look here. So, oh yes, King Benny did say rain at the start of the race.
Oh, okay.
So it's maybe gonna dry up. Are they on full wets or winters? They're on full wets though.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is 50-50. It dries halfway through, 50-50 apparently is what I'm getting now. Yes, so a lot of people did gamble and put a dry setup on. This is I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. A Rouge full wet dry setup. I'm expecting a little bit of carnage here, but do you know what? Dark Stomper did say he went and dug deep for a dry or for a wet setup.
Yep.
But like I said, I don't think those times were representative of really what a dry setup would be doing. Now, the other thing I'm now even more confused about: why did Cali Rob stay in the pits for the whole quali if it was going to be rain?
Yeah.
Tire strategy's out the window, so I'm not sure whether he's just maybe thinking, I'm a reserve. We'll just see what happens with it, really.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think it could be interesting. And that maybe would explain why BKS was slightly off the pace where he normally would be. Because if he's done that on a wet setup, he could be an absolute rocket in the first half of the race.
And I'm also surprised because BKS is the notorious Yarno follower when it comes to wet strategies. I'm surprised he didn't take the inter tires out for the beginning.
I'm not surprised either, to be fair. He seems to like the alternative strategy.
Yeah.
I've got Shug's Life in the comments here. I think he's made a very funny comment. To be fair, he says we're going to do 2 laps and then we're going to red flag it. and then we'll just call. we're going to red flag it and just give the podium guys the podium. I think that's a good shot. Mind you, that wouldn't do anyone any favors in the drivers' championship. The Dark Stomper will get another win from 2 lap race, but hey ho.
So all of these cars just going through the midst of Sector 3 on this formation lap, headed to the start.
I'm gonna stick a shout out here, Ken.
I'm gonna stick. Lee is off.
Someone around?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man! It's not even the race. Oh man! I'm gonna stick a shout out in the comments. I want to get who's betting on a DNF lap one here, because I think it's fairly high the way this is looking. Genuinely nervous about what I'm seeing here, but yeah, I'm expecting maybe an early safety car here, which will hopefully bring us to the dry weather, because I'm really ready for this.
So all of the cars have lined up in their grid spots. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And it is away we go as the cars crawl away.
Oh, a lot of wheel spin going on there. That was getting nervous, man.
Oh, and Lewis has dropped. And we have yellow flags. Might be a Ferrari. Yep.
Oh, 3 cars caught up.
3 cars. Yeah. And Flea with a
penalty.
Yep. Not sure what happened there, but Dark Stomper is already. Oh, and Kadoy and Zayak are side by side. Looks like Zayak. Oh, and Kadoy late on the brakes and goes off circuit as well. I wonder if you'll be able to stay in that position. Looks like it. So Kadoy making up 3 positions from the start of the race. Already up into 4th.
I think someone he didn't get away well is Kingsholm. He's dropped down to P7. I'm not sure what happened. And BKS another one. He's down to P9. Yeah. I'm not sure if those guys had a bit of an incident. Ryan Van Dien though.
And Kingsholm, and I believe it was it Zayak? Zayak doesn't have his front wing.
Yeah, both those cars struggling big time with the damage. Yeah, Emplate missing on that Red Bull, and no front wing at all on that Haas. So big incident there early. It's going to be unfortunate to throw them both into the pits really. Say the rain already causing carnage. Flea right at the back. It's not been a great start for the Red Bull team at all.
Yep, and Zayak just going off of track, almost collected Kingsholm. Kingsholm is having issues right now. Oh, and Lyra Patch almost went into the back of BKS. I don't know if BKS has damage. He does. He's going into the pits. That was close.
I'm assuming there's some sort of an incident between him and Kingsholm in lap 1. I'm not sure, because both of them dropped rightly down the order. A lot of guys into the pits on this lap 1. Is Flea going to come in as well? I wonder. Has he got any damage? He's staying out. Disqualifying from this, blocking the. He's spun in the pit lane. He's spun in the pit lane. The rain causing absolute bedlam on that. I don't know. Does that count as a DNF? I don't know. I don't know. Disqualification? I don't know, man. It's already causing carnage. The rain. We've had three wet races in a row. I'm growing increasingly concerned about this. Yep. I just want a dry race. That's all I'm asking for at this point.
And interestingly, Kingsholm has actually gone on to the Inters.
I think he's got to try something different. He's quite far behind out of the points. He's got to take the gamble, I suppose, and hope that this rain dries up quite quickly.
Yep, and I believe Milan Massimo just actually made a move on Cali Rob to go up into 9th, as Lyra Patch has gotten himself A 3-second time penalty. We have, and Lara Patch is out.
No, just out. I thought it was Lewis. I seen the McLaren, but no, Lara Patch is DNF'd. Joined late. VSC is deployed. He's joined late and DNF by lap 2. Just had a glance at the comments there. Phoenix lads, you've almost made it. You just he said he put any money that he DNFs by lap 2. He's got 4 more corners to go. Phoenix, we're rooting for you, buddy. We're rooting for you. It's under safety car. Just get across that line, please. Oh.
And that's actually interesting. His teammate is ahead of him, Ryan Van Doom. Made up 8 positions, remember. He's had a quali ban.
Run.
Yeah.
But see, I think quali ban's the way to go, man. Like, everyone gets a quali ban, they always end up like, and Zayx gets a drive-through penalty.
Wow.
Speeding under the safety car, I think it was a scene, but yeah, it seems like quali ban's the way to go. Once you get a quali ban, I think you're guaranteed a top 5 finish. So we'll see how that theory holds up today. But James done it a couple of weeks ago. He ended up on the podium. Someone else done it too. I can't remember. Someone else got a quali ban.
Yeah, Roarding. He had a quali ban in Spain and finished P3 as well.
I think it's just a thing. We'll see. Oh, hang on, Cali Rob's on the Enders.
Yep. And Monster Blue has made his way past Phoenix to go up into 6th position.
I'm just going to keep an eye on the Delta and see what sort of headway Kingsville makes towards Dark Stomper. It doesn't look like it's intermediate weather yet, but actually, do you know what? That time is tumbling. Absolutely tumbling. He's 3/10 out of turn 1 alone, so, but also lost 3/10 going up with Rouge. So I don't know if it's probably just around that crossover period. I know me and you have a look at the puddles. There's still a couple out there, but they don't look as prominent as they once were.
Yeah.
So it's definitely drying.
So I'm currently on board with King Benny. I'll go to the driver who's just behind him, who is Lewis F1, down 1 position from where he started. Currently in 3rd place, but keeping quite close to King Benny. And it looks like, I think the rain has stopped.
It's got a lot lighter anyway. It's definitely not as prominent as it once was. Lewis!
Lewis!
Don't know if he's got any damage. Doesn't look like it, but sometimes it's not always visible. But he let up those rears coming out of that exit. I think that will maybe scare him a little bit if he's thinking about going on to the mediums. Lost a lot of time, but hopefully no damage to that car. We'll see what he's like up Eau Rouge.
Jason, if you go to like Cali Rob, look at the wetness there in comparison to Sector 1. There's a difference, you know?
Massive difference, yeah. If you're on board with Cali Rob, it looks like he's in a tropical storm. And it's just cleared as he's entered the bus stop chicane.
Yeah!
I'm on board with King's Home, bus stop chicane that clears.
Yes!
Good old Codemasters, come on.
No, but
graphic update.
But that's interesting though, because remember how in Belgium, I don't know if it was 2 years ago, how it was raining in one section of the track, or that might have been Russia actually. But I think that does happen in Belgium as well, where it's raining more so on one side of the track than the other.
It's quite a large track. Like I say, I'm just flicking between Dark Stomper and Zayak. So Dark Stomper's just entered Sector 3, looks drenched, and Zayak Sector 1 is completely dry. It's quite a big track, so I suppose it could happen. I'm actually somewhat impressed that they've implemented it into the game a little, so maybe Inters is the tyre for Sector 1, but not for Sector 3, because it's absolutely torrential down in that part of the track.
Although it does seem to be getting a bit lighter. I'm on board with Dark Stomper right now. Yep, and it just dries up, yeah. This is so interesting.
Just gonna have a look and see what sort of lap times Cali Rob's doing on those Inters. He's just put in, this will be his first lap, so I don't know yet, but I'll compare it to Dark Stomper's last lap, which is a 2-minute flat. Cali Rob
and everyone's pitting as well.
must be intermediate time. I'll see what sort of a time Cali Rob does this lap on the inters. It's definitely faster than on the wets. It's just a question of how much faster.
Yep, and Dark Stomper 400 slower so far.
Cali Rob 3 seconds faster.
Oh boy. So these front three runners, and it looks like these wet tire runners are starting to struggle, especially Lewis.
Not going well. Like you say, they've got to watch because their Kodoi's looking really, really good for an undercut here. If he can just keep it on the track, you say, oh, yellow sector 3.
Zayak is out.
Has he hit the pit lane? This is another pit lane.
And it's a safety car. So that takes out. So Dark Stomper has lucked into a safety car to be able to switch to the inters. As well as King Benny and Lewis.
All those guys were very lucky there.
Wow.
I think they were very, very vulnerable to that undercut. They've got plenty of time to do that pit stop. They should keep all the positions. I'm not expecting anyone to pit here, really. Everyone's on fresh tyres. There'd be no benefit to anyone, really. Cali Rob's left the session. There's a madness, Cam. There's a madness. I don't know what's happening. It's only lap 5, man. I don't know what to think of that. But I'll try and see. I'll send him another invite and see if I can get him back in. But he was really showing his pace, so I hope he's able to come back. I think he's just got disconnected. It's saying he's just gone offline, so I think his internet might have given up on him. But I think if I can get it, I'll keep an eye on him and see if I can get him back in.
Mm-hmm. So the front three runners, Dark Stomper, King Benny, and Lewis, have gone into the pits. We are currently on lap 6 of this.
Oh, Benny nearly jumped. Oh, that was tight. Benny, very, very nearly jumped Dark Stomper in the pit lane there. The Mercedes team had a much better pit stop, but all three keep their positions.
Yep. That is unfortunate. So Kodoi, who, as you said, was looking for that undercut on any of these top 3 runners, will now stay in that 4th place position. Now, will anybody take a risk and go onto the drives during the safety car period?
Just imagine. Like this track.
Oh, hold on. King's home. Onto inters, alright.
I want to say surely not. I think he's absolutely good. Oh my.
So just looking at the position changes, Dark Stomper started in 1st, still currently in 1st place. King Benny started in 5th, now currently in 2nd. Lewis F1 started in 2nd, now in 3rd place. Kodoi started in 7th, now in 4th place. Ryan Van Doom, who had a quali ban, started in 13th, now in 5th place. Well done by him. Monster Blue started in 12th, currently in 6th place. Phoenix has made up 1 position from the start, up in 7th. Milan Massimo has made up 2 positions, now currently in 8th. Cali Rob, who did not set a lap time during the qualifying session, started 14th, now in 9th. BKS started in 4th, now down in 10th. Flea started in 9th, currently in 11th. And King's Home, the one who has dropped the most since the beginning of the race, who started in 3rd, now in 12th.
He's got a lot of work to do from the back of the grid. Like I say, you probably get himself back into the points, but this is going to be a bit of a recovery drive. Last week Lewis overtook him in the standings, and it looks like Lewis is going to open up that gap today, unless there's some dramatic. I'm not even going to say it because I'm going to jinx it. No, we're not going to talk about it. Lewis has the potential to open up that championship lead today over King's Home. Potential being the key word.
Yep.
Cali Rob, apparently he's got back in. I didn't see him join, but I think he's got himself back in.
Mm-hmm.
safety car's going to need one more lap, I think.
I'm just trying to get a look at the track and see. It is still wet. And yeah, it is still raining as well.
The way that Phoenix put it to me is it was 50-50, so whether that means around the halfway mark, it's going to dry up, but like I said, the rain's nowhere near as heavy. The puddles are... There's a dry line there, clear dry line there. So that would say to me this is going to dry out quite quickly, because nearly 7 laps ago we were in torrential rain.
Yep.
So I think if it does go to dry... Fleas on the softs?
Hold on.
I don't think that's a good idea. Oh, I really don't think that's a good idea.
Well, we'll ride on board with him and let's see.
Impending DNF up Eau Rouge. No, it's definitely not dry tyre weather, I'll tell you that for a fact. What now? He's either pulled a madness. We'll know in a couple of laps' time he's either pulled a madness or he is mad. There's only one way or the other here, but I think he's going to be very, very slow in those tyres for a very, very long time. It's a long lap to be in the wrong tyre compound. Oh, and he's...
Oh boy. And he's out. Oh boy.
I'm just going to glance at the comments here because I'm expecting them to go wild any minute. Absolute. Do you know what? I credit the gamble. I credit it. Honestly, worth a go.
Oh,
but
man.
That was the biggest backfire I have ever seen. Iggy Combo, to quote him, not like that.
Oh man. So the safety car is coming in this lap, and yep, it is going through the pit lane as it is. So Dark Stomper will be the one who leads the pack away. And yep, looks like it's foot down for the Alpine driver. Oh, and there's a driver that had a bit of a moment. It was Phoenix. And Milan Massimo has made his way past Phoenix up into 7th. King's home trying to... Oof. It's quite close to BKS.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was getting very touch and go there. I will say, this track is definitely drying, and it seems to be drying at quite a rapid pace. Maybe Flea did it just one lap too early for all we know. Yeah. It is still raining, but there's a massive dry line there appearing, at least through Sector 1. Like I said, we'll see what it's like in Sector 3 where it's been wet all race.
Yeah. So currently riding on board with, actually, I'll go down. King's Home is... Ooh, and BKS goes wide, and King's Home now side by side with BKS, but no, BKS able to make his way back just in front of King's Home to take back that 10th place position. Yeah, and look at this part of the track where King's Home is right now. Like, it's wet. It's a lot wetter than Sector 1. Look at the spray from the tires.
Yeah, like I said, Sector 1 and 2 seem to be pretty dry, but 3s were where a lot of those curves of death are. Yeah. Sorry, Sector 2 is where a lot of those curves of death are, and it's absolutely torrential. So anyone with a dry setup probably benefiting a little bit more now. But if BKS is on a wet setup, like I'm suspecting, P10 right now is not where you want.
So I'm riding on board with Milan Massimo as Dark Stomper sets the fastest lap with a 1:55.631. The 5th, 6th, and 7th place positions, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, as King's Home has made his way, just past BKS, but BKS is trying to fight back, but no, Kingsholm takes that 10th place position. 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th are pretty close together, and it will just take the slightest error by any of them, and they will be overtaken.
The margin of error here is not looking good. Like I said, the slightest mistake. Like these front three, this is phenomenal battle at the minute. Dark Stomper hasn't yet broken away, but he is roughly a second ahead. But Benny's keeping him honest, and Lewis is keeping Benny honest at the minute. These three at the front could be fighting for quite some time, as we've seen in the practice. We know Lewis has got a lot of pace behind him, and he held Dark Stomper behind him the whole race last week. Just the penalties got him caught out, so I'm sure he wants a bit of vengeance today.
I'm currently on board with Milan Massimo. I can see Cador. Ooh, and Milan Massimo going for a move on Monster Blue side by side with the AlphaTauri driver, and ooh, Monster Blue just bullies his way back into that 6th place position.
He did not want to give that up. The two reserve drivers fighting very, very hard with each other there. Just giving it all they got, really.
Well, I think Ryan Van Doom may have made a bit of a mistake. Oh, and King Benny's into the pits.
Now, is this the gamble? I think this seems a little bit early for me if he's going for the dries, and he's going for the softs.
Oh, and Phoenix is having a bit of issue, and Milan Massimo is out. Where did that happen?
Oh no, that's done Benny so dirty. If he can stay with the guys in front of him, he might drop the P3, but that's going to do him very, very dirty. I didn't see what happened, Milan Massimo. It's on the start-finish straight. Yeah. I'm trying to look and see if anyone's got any damage, though. I can't see it on BKS. Cali's clear. Monster... No, I'm not sure if he tangled with someone or just lost it in the exit of the bus stop, but well and truly into the wall of that start-finish straight.
So let me go to the tires. Yep, King Benny is on the soft. So now this is going to be interesting. Obviously, the front runners don't know that King Benny has, unless they're listening to the stream, they do not know that King Benny has gone onto the softs.
To tell you the truth, he doesn't look like he's too comfortable on them either, to be honest. He's going to have to hope it really starts to dry out before this, unless he's at the Delta. I'm not sure, it just doesn't look dry enough, and he's going into Sector 2 now. This is where the track's a lot wetter than the rest of the track.
Yeah.
I just can't see it being dry weather just yet.
Ooh, and a drive-through penalty for Kingsholm. Yeah, I guess they're supposed to be following the Delta, I guess, because they're not behind the safety car yet.
Going to be frustrating for him. Like I say, as long as he finishes today, he's going to be into the points, but he's not having a good run around Belgium.
Yep, so Dark Stomper in, Lewis in, Kadoy in, Ryan Van Doom in, Monster Blue in, Kingsholm in, Phoenix. Phoenix gets...
Cali Rob?
Phoenix is staying out. And yep, Cali Rob as well.
Benny needs to get a move on. If he's going to take any of these positions, he might just, you know...
Ooh, boy. And Kingsholm has retired.
He's opted for a medium tire. King Benny is ahead of Lewis. Keeps his position. I don't know. Maybe at the end of the safety car it's going to be dry weather, but Benny was struggling there massively under those tires, it looked like. I think it's coming. I just don't think it's yet.
I'm not sure. Why did Kingsholm retire? There could be another safety car. Anything could have happened.
Oh, Kingston retired? I
Yeah.
completely missed that. I was so fascinated about it. Yeah, I'm not sure. He opted for the mediums. A lot of people opted for the softs. I can't see those soft tires going to the end. Lewis might have pulled an absolute madness here, you know. Could got himself into the position for potential win today. Like I say, Phoenix and Cali Rob, if they don't pit and it's not time for wet weather tire or for dry tires, could have pulled a madness. But it is coming. I just don't know if that was the right call or not, to be honest. But like I said, at this point, they're guaranteed points. But Lewis is definitely going to be able to go to the end of those tires. I'll be very impressed if those soft runners do. I know tire degradation around here really isn't much, but like you're asking, well, quite a bit off those tires. They're going to be dead by the end of the race, most definitely.
Yeah, and that's the if you actually think about it, what you're saying about Lewis is quite right, because even if there is another safety car as well, he just gets to stay out.
Yeah, I think he's either a genius. I think what he's done is worth the gamble, to be honest.
Yeah.
Kingston's retired, BKS is P9. You know, he's guaranteed to make points on his closest rivals today. So, as long, actually, he has the potential. I'll say the potential because I don't want him spinning out. We've only got 9 left. We can't afford to lose anymore. But yeah, I think this could actually be a madness. I don't think safety car's going to come in this lap though, because I think that's only the first lap. That's the problem with Belgium. It's always really long safety cars around this track. And Cali Rob's in, and Phoenix is in. I'm not sure what position Cali Rob in before the last lap, but he's going to drop right to the back now.
So it's mediums for Phoenix, softs for Cali Rob. So they're just heading down the pit lane and back onto the track.
Just looking at Phoenix, the only driver at the minute on track with a 3-second time penalty as well. Cali's opted for the soft, so interestingly. So, I don't know, if safety car's going to come in this lap, they've got 10 laps to do in the softs. I think they will do it. It's just a matter of how good they are whenever they do get to the end. The pace advantage in the softs around here is quite high. So I won't be surprised if Lewis drops off the back a bit. Kodoy gets himself up into the top 3 maybe. But towards the end of the race, I think Lewis has definitely got in with a good shout of getting himself at least a podium.
So we are currently on lap 12 of 22, currently under safety car conditions. It is Dark Stomper who started the race in first, currently still in that first place position. You have King Benny in second, started in fifth, made his way up 3 positions from the start, and then Lewis F1, who started second, currently in third. Kadoy has made up 3 positions to go into fourth. Ryan Van Doom, impressive drive by the Aston Martin driver, up in fifth. Monster Blue reserving for the AlphaTauri team, currently in sixth, made up 6 positions from the beginning of the race as a safety car is in this lap. As determined by race control, BKS has dropped 3 positions from the start of the race, now in 7th. Cali Rob reserving for the Mercedes team in 8th, and Phoenix rounds out the field of remaining drivers in 9th place.
The points for everyone up for grabs today. As long as you finish, so everyone's going to get a little bit greedy and try and go for and maximise the points that they can get, because a lot of people's main rivals have already crashed out of the race.
Yep, so it looks like Dark Stomper is away and positions. Oh, Kadoy's in the pits.
Dived in?
Does he have damage? Oh, Ryan Van Doom, Monster Blue has made his way past Ryan Van Doom to go up into fourth. And King Benny is giving Dark Stomper a run. And into first goes King Benny. It's side by side between both drivers.
And Brandon tries to stick it around the outside though. Oh, this is good racing.
Yes, it is.
Those two, literally giving each other just enough room and no more. This is good racing.
And King Benny has made his way past Dark Stomper into first. Only the second race for King Benny in LFR, and this is quite impressive so far, albeit we are going to have to keep an eye on the tires ever so slightly because King Benny's tires are just one lap older than Dark Stomper's.
No, it was very fair racing there between the two of them, giving each other just enough room and no more really. But very fair and hard driving to say the least. Kodoi, I had a look at him. He did front wing damage, so he's come in, put the sauce on, see if he can make any of the time up. But I think he's going to need to save the car to up any more of those positions.
Oh, and it looks like the sun is coming out in this part of the track at least. So as King Benny sets the fastest lap of the race with and then Monster Blue, and then Cali Rob sets the fastest lap with a 1:45.244. I am on board with Cali Rob, and he is getting quite close to BKS of the Ferrari. Ahead of him, I'm wondering, was DRS enabled? I guess it should be.
I'm trying to think, is that lap 1 or lap 2? Like I said, I'm totally engrossed in this fight at the front, so I don't know. But Brandon's looking to do this all over again, see if he can come out on top this time.
Oh, wow. Almost. Oh, and Dark Stomper has made contact! And Lewis is around!
I'm not sure what happened. Lewis, he gets himself back on track again, but no, Dark Stomper, I think he just touched the curb and got the back end out a little bit. Dark Stomper down to P3. I don't know if he has damage. It doesn't look like it. Contact was very, very minor, but he's lost 2 positions from that. King Benny now out in front. Nice guy Benny leading the race, man.
Nice guy Benny. Maybe not too nice when it comes to on-circuit racing.
Nah, nice guy Benny, hard but fair race. I think he left Brandon enough room there to be fair, but definitely
the elbows.
Tooth and nail flat.
The elbows. So I'm currently on board with Cali Rob, still right behind BKS. That was an interesting line that he took. Going over half of the curb. DRS is now enabled for the beginning of lap 15. And let's see. So Dark Stomper, as Lewis is into the pits as he did sustain damage on the previous lap. It's going to be DRS for Dark Stomper, DRS for BKS, DRS for Cali Rob.
This is really a golden opportunity for BKS here to maybe claw some of those points back from Dark Stomper if he can get ahead of him now. Not too often he has an opportunity to get him like this, so gotta make the most of it today.
Oh, and Dark Stomper gets a penalty!
This is a rare mistake from Dark Stomper, and BKS, the opportunity to capitalise on it. At the minute, with that penalty in place, Dark Stomper would drop to 5th.
Yeah.
Would give BKS the chance to claw some of that gap back, like I'm saying. He's got quite a healthy lead, Dark Stomper. But I suppose if he's going to make headway on him, it has to be now, really.
Yeah, so BKS just within 7/10 of championship rival in Dark Stomper. Dark Stomper within 8/10 of Monster Blue ahead of him. Ooh, and Cali Rob, ooh, getting close to BKS. It's DRS through the beginning of Sector 1 here, and then shortly after, it's going to be DRS again, and it will be Dark Stomper. See how close, or how much closer he can get to Monster Blue. So it is DRS for the Alpine driver. Ooh, and Cali Rob making his way past BKS to go up into 4th.
Yeah, quite a bit of overspeed on him there. It wasn't difficult. Phoenix also down on his teammate though. Goes a little deep on the brakes, but whew,
yeah, I think there was
happening on this lap.
I think there was a bit of team orders between the Aston Martin drivers because Ryan Van Doom did go over to the right, so I think he did let Phoenix through.
Just like I say, these two at the back, they're going to be praying for a safety car. Lewis, though, is making headway on Kodoi, but he's got an 8-second gap to pull back before this race is up if he wants to maximise the points he gets today. As long as he finishes, he will get points, but I'm sure he won't more than 2.
I'm currently on board with Cali Rob. This is going to be good points for the Mercedes team today, as it is currently 1-3 for Mercedes.
Probably their best result all season.
Yep. And see, Dark Stomper has to be careful because he has to stay within DRS of Cali Rob sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:44.900. Dark Stomper, he's too far back from Monster Blue now. So it's not going to be DRS for Dark Stomper. It is going to be DRS for Cali Rob. And already before the DRS zone, basically side by side. And yep, that is Cali Rob past Dark Stomper into 3rd place. BKS also does have DRS. And he
needs to hold on to these guys though, and that's not going to be an easy task. And you say he just needs to finish ahead of Brandon today. Really, like I said, he has to think we're coming to the end of the season now. We've only 7 races left. He's going to claw the gap back to Brandon. He needs to start now, realistically.
Yep, and Dark Stomper is actually struggling. He's almost out of DRS of Cali Rob. And we have yellow flags. Might be an Aston. Yep, and it's Phoenix. And Dark Stomper is out of DRS, and we have yellow flags again. Monster Blue is out!
Oh, big crash, big crash. That's going to move up the safety car. We've got the safety car. BKS has got ahead of Dark Stomper there. I'm not sure. He might have to give that position back. We'll see what the game says. Because if he has to do it, they have to do it now.
You know what? Dark Stomper was having and Ryan Van Doom is out?
He drove into the side of Monster Blue. It's not, like I say, I think I said it in qualifying. I expect a DNF here. This is bringing Lewis and Kodoi right back into it.
Oh,
BKS
wow.
has got ahead. There's madness. There's madness. We're down to, this is the 2nd week in a row. We've got like 7 people finishing. It makes life very easy for me in the standings, to be fair. But I'm not complaining. Lewis doesn't look like he's gonna be able to jump anyone. He may as well pit for the fresh tyres. I think Kodoi is going in. Yeah. He may as well pit for the fresh tyres, to be fair. Have a straight shootout. This isn't good for Dark Stomper though.
Yeah, Lewis is in. He could have maybe had one position, so maybe he's just thinking the fresher tires will be more advantageous for him. This is, you know who this is going to really cost though? Dark Stomper.
Big time, big time. It puts him, it's making him very, very vulnerable. Depends how long the safety car's out for. If it comes in this lap, perfect. If it doesn't, he's got 3 laps to pull a gap to negate that penalty. Yeah. That penalty could be proven very costly. Now, I don't know what's happened here because Cali Rob and BKS have swapped positions. I didn't see it happen, but I've just noticed that. So unless there was a pit lane, maybe a little, they would have double stacked, of course, because King Benny also pit.
Wow.
Puts BKS up in the P2.
BKS is looking to capitalize on his positioning in this race on Dark Stomper, albeit Dark Stomper does have quite the championship lead as it is, but this is going to be a good result for BKS to try and claw back to Dark Stomper.
Massively, and like I said, King Benny, he's only just signed up for Tuesdays. A win would fire him right up the standings. In fact, I'll just find out, because I get the feeling we're going to have 2 laps of safety car here. Fingers crossed that we don't, because it's going to be a long sit. Let me have a look here. So, if Benny were to win today, it would throw him right to P11 in the standings.
Wow.
So it would be quite a significant jump. It would throw him right in the mix of that tight-knit battle for P8 at the minute. So, you know, these points would be vital for him if he can keep doing performances like this for the rest of the season. You could even jump up to P6 in the stands, despite joining so late. Lewis is going to want to extend his lead over Kingsholm. He's only 2 points clear of him at the moment. As long as he finishes, he will extend it to some extent. But I think he'd be wanting more than the 6 points he's currently getting. Let's see who else we got here. Cali Rob's reserve and Dark Stomper with that healthy lead. I'll just do the maths now in my head. He's currently got a 96 point lead on BKS. He's clawbackable, but it's going to be a big ask, so he needs to start now. And why not start it here? Like I say, if he stays where he is, or Irvin stays where it is now, it's 6 points if you get over Dark Stomper. Not much, not what and he's going to need more than that, but you know, if Brandon DNFs and BKS gets a win, would really help the cause, to be fair. Potentially, I'll not to jinx it, potentially.
So currently on lap 19 of 22. So if the safety car comes in this lap, we're going to have 3 laps of racing, which will mean DRS for only 1 lap?
I believe so. The last lap's the only one that's going to have the DRS, so I'm expecting a massive train, some tactics. BKS already showing a little bit of tactics. He's revving that engine to burn some fuel.
So if BKS can stick with King Benny through these last 3 laps, and he will have the DRS on that final lap. Hey, BKS, you may be looking at, and I mean, I don't want to jinx it.
Potentially.
But
Potentially.
You are looking quite good, sir. So keep it clean and try your best to stay close to King Benny. Although King Benny has shown quite the pace in this race, so we'll see what happens as the safety car is in this lap. Message out by race control. So it's King Benny leading the field of 7 cars remaining.
It will be BKS's 3rd win of the season. King Benny's 1st. I'm not sure if I'm wrong here. I can't think I have anything off the top of my head, but I think the only 2 winners of this season are BKS and Dark Stomper. Monster Blue won the first race as a reserve.
Yep.
So it would be the third victory for BKS, or the 4th winner overall this season. I can't think of anyone else who's finished. Oh, he had Spolsworth, didn't he? He won in Azerbaijan. Never mind. I'm talking rubbish.
Yeah. Oh, and King Benny looks like he is away. So, yep, we are commencing lap 20. Only 3 laps remaining in this race, and it looks like Kadoy has fallen off from Phoenix in 5th. It looks like Lewis is going to have a pretty good run on the Williams driver, but I'm going to go up to Cali Rob. Cali Rob is making his way past BKS already.
BKS did not get the start that he wanted. King Benny has already opened up that gap to the DRS, but Cali Rob, he's reserving today, and knowing him, he's hungry for the wins. I don't think there'll be any team orders at Mercedes today, so I'd say Cali Rob really wants this win.
Yep, and I'm riding on board with Lewis F1. He made his way past Kadoy to go up into 6th, and Phoenix looks like he's struggling a bit, and it looks like Lewis is going to be able to catch him fairly quickly and easily.
Yeah, Lewis is going to want to clear him quickly because he could actually end up potentially, if he can get a move on, finishing ahead of Dark Stomper at the minute.
Yep. And then you have to also remember the penalties for Dark Stomper and Phoenix. So, but Phoenix? Okay, so as it is right now, Lewis is 3.2 seconds behind Dark Stomper. So, Dark Stomper is still ahead of Lewis as it is right now.
He needs to get move on these last few laps. I suppose he's going to be hoping that BKS and Dark Stomper do a little bit of battling. Cali Rob takes fastest lap. Mercedes going to absolutely maximise the points today as it stands. 25-18 and then that fastest lap point. They're bottom of the standings at the minute. I can't even do the maths that quickly, but they're going to shoot right up, put it that way. They should overtake AlphaTauri and Aston Martin. Maybe even Haas in the stands at the minute. So this will be an absolutely fantastic result.
It's side by side between BKS and Dark Stomper. Dark Stomper is past BKS.
Just down the road, Lewis completely mimics the move that Dark Stomper made on BKS. So Lewis still thinks he can get into this fight, potentially get P4, maybe even the podium today. 2 laps to go. Got a little bit of work to do. All it takes is one incident. Let's see what he's got.
So I'm currently riding on board with Kadoy, and he is getting quite close to Phoenix. I don't know if Phoenix has damage or something, but he's just quite slow as it is.
Yeah, he's got a lot of on the steering.
Lewis!
Lewis is balding on. I've done it again. Cam, I didn't say potentially. I've totally thrown him out. Lewis, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, man.
Oh, I can't believe it. I'm actually devastated for him.
Wow. So we are currently on the final lap of this race. It is King Benny who is out in front in first. Cali Rob in second. Gonna have DRS at his disposal. And red light flashing for King Benny as well. But I believe Cali Rob is low on the battery as well. And yep, not going to be able to make his way past his teammate. Now on board with Kadoy, also low on the battery. Not going to be able to make it past Phoenix, but Phoenix is still struggling. I'm wondering if Kadoy is going to be... He is in 5th as it is right now with that time penalty for Phoenix. Cali Rob gets a penalty!
This could promote BKS even further. This could be absolutely massive. BKS is just within that 3-second gap. He just needs to keep it.
I'm still on board with Kadoy. Phoenix is fighting for that 5th place position.
Just gotta hope that Kadoy gets a penalty though. Phoenix looks like he really is struggling though. I'm not sure if he's got damage or just there's a lot of understeer in that car.
Yeah. Yep, Kadoy might be able to make a move, but I'm riding on board with King Benny. It is going to be a race victory for King Benny's 2nd race in LFR. Well done by him. Cali Rob, Dark Stomper, BKS jumps to 2nd. Dark Stomper in 3rd, Cali Rob in 4th. Phoenix is going to drop to 6th, and Kadoy finishes in 5th place. Interesting race today.
What a guy. Nice guy Benny. I keep calling him Nice Guy Benny. Everyone likes Nice Guy Benny. Takes his first win. I'm not sure what happened Cali robbed mine, because to my knowledge he only had 3 seconds, so unless he got another penalty late there, I don't know why he dropped to 4th, because in theory he was ahead of Brandon. I don't know. Well, we'll see shortly in the standings table, or in the finishing order table. But yeah, Benny, what a run. BKS kept Darkstar honest. He's gained a couple of points on him, which is what he really needs to start doing at this point. I think at this point, though, Brandon's secured a pretty healthy lead, but just to keep it exciting, you gotta keep it exciting, don't you?
Yep. So I'll go through the final finishing order for this race. So it's King Benny, second race in LFR, finishes in first. BKS in second. Dark Stomper in third. Cali Rob, reserving for the Mercedes team, finishing in fourth. Kodoy finishes in fifth. Also his second race in LFR. Good race for him. Phoenix finishes in sixth. And Lewis F1, yep. So he will get the points for 7th place, and then this is the start of the DNF. So Ryan Van Du, Monster Blue, King's Home, Milan Massimo, Flea, Zayek, Lyra Patch, and Janati.
Tell you what, though, just look there, Lewis has been classified, so he actually will get those points for P7.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Ryan has, though. No, Ryan's just missed out. I think he had to get one more lap in. Lewis will get the points, though, because he was classified. So, not as much points as he would have liked, but he'll get them regardless.
Mm-hmm. All right, everyone. So I would like to thank you for tuning into this broadcast. If you have not subscribed to this channel, if you can do so, that would be great. And also like this stream/video. That would help us out quite a bit. This Thursday, there will be no race for Thursday Formula 4, as Thursday Formula 4 will be resuming next week, Thursday. So I'll just go to I actually know what the race is for next week, for Monday Limitless 1. It will be taking place at Belgium.
It's Belgium. I hate Belgium.
Yeah, I'm not too much of a fan of this circuit as well, and plus because I'm also new to using the wheel, I do not know how this is going to go.
It's not fun, bud. It's not. You fear for your life every time you go up a Rouge. But you know, it is what it is. I guess we have to go there at some point. I'm just glad to get it out of the way.
Yep. And then also to add, it is also the sprint qualifying format as well.
I'm gonna be sick. It is what it is. But.
All right, everyone. So I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Limitless Gaming Esports coverage of Limitless Formula Racing. For myself as well as Big Weir, we would like to say, take care.